How I built my trading engines. No coding background, no expensive courses, just few things. The chat GPT, the logic and Python. Over the months, I built my own trading engines, not one, not two, but multiple engines. So the obvious question is, what are these trading engines? Let me clarify something first. So these are not algos. The algos, they are automated order execution system. Algos help you in automating your strategy. The strategy can be good or bad. The engines which I built is a part before the execution, the part which understand and analyzes the market. So there are many channels. There are thousands of channels teaching indicators. There are hundreds of channels teaching strategy. There are hundreds of channels teaching algos and bots. However, no one teaches how to build your own trading engines. In this first episode, I will show you some of my engines and what actually are the possibilities. Then from next week on, I will teach you how to make your own trading engine step by step. So this is not a one-way communication. It's an ecosystem. We'll start with simple engine, then gradually we'll start building complex engines, and we'll build them together. In today's episode, I will show one by one all my engines. So let's start with the simple indicator engine. So what you see on the screen is simple indicator engine. Why I call it simple? Because the logic what I use is very simple. So I'm using 62 possible conditions with multiple indicators. So I have categorized indicators into trend, momentum, acceleration, strength, volume and liquidity. So for every positive condition, I have +1, every negative condition, I have -1. So it's a very simple arithmetic calculation. So we are live and now it's 22nd of December, 15:06. Also the chart is in front of me. The composite score at 15:06 is +6 out of 62. That means it's not very strong, but the trend is bullish. So 13:06 here, green candle and the trend is bullish. On the next candle, 15:07, the trend is still bullish, though there is a red candle, but the trend is still bullish. But then at 15:08, the trend has shifted from bullish to neutral because the score is +2 out of 62. So you can see the trend started reversing. So before it reverses, it becomes neutral. And then at 15:09, it has signaled me a trend is now getting shifted to bearish trend. So it's -6. So now you can see the trend has shifted from bullish to bearish. So this simple indicator engine is using simple calculation with multiple indicators, and I'm using almost 124 conditions with 20 plus indicators. And you see that I get at every candle I get what are the positive conditions, what are the negative conditions. And this engine helps me in showing the direction with a simple calculation. So we have looked at the first engine, simple indicator engine, on 1 minute time frame. Now on the screen you see the same engine on 5 minutes of time frame. So same logic, simple arithmetic calculation with 62 possible conditions. Every 5 minutes it gives me a score. So we have looked at both 1 minute simple indicator engine and 5 minute simple indicator engine. Now let's look at how am I using it. So on the screen you see that I'm plotting the score of 1 minute simple indicator engine, which is the blue line here, and the 5 minute simple indicator engine, which is the yellow line. And then there are certain crossovers. So the crossover here at 9:45, what does it signifies? So let's look at the chart. So here on the chart you see that the trend was bearish since morning, and at 9:45 I got the indication that the trend is going to turn bullish, and see here that the trend has gone bullish after 9:45. So this simple indicator engine is very effective. So I will show you many more engines which I have built using artificial intelligence. In the future, you will be either on the side of developing AI models or using AI smartly in whatever you do. AI won't replace you, but someone using AI smartly will. So the choice is yours, whether you want to use AI to do petty things and killing your creativity and intellectual, or use AI smartly to develop some smart solutions. So moving on to the next engine, which is live verdict. Here I am using a similar indicators. However, the conditions are different. This is not based on simple arithmetic calculation. I have coded few conditions in Python, and you can see that here we have train composite and the conditions which are defined. Similarly, sentiment composite. This is an additional. This is not part of simple indicator engine. So what we are doing here is I am fetching the open interest data for put and calls, and accordingly we get to know whether the calls are being written or the puts are being written or they are being unwinding or winding. So volatility composite, this is new here, and then there are setup conditions. So these are also coded in Python, and I see that whether the setup is being formed whenever the conditions are triggered. I see it here. Then early bullish potential. So this also is like setup. There are some few conditions predefined, and whenever they are being triggered, I see it here. So, and then there is a final score for 5-minute time frame. So likewise, then for 15 minutes also, I have 15 minutes score. But the one thing is important here, that there are some flags. Like whenever this MACD is overextended, it flags up. Why? Because when there is an overextension of MACD, there is a potential of reversal. Likewise, when RSI is being overbought, the situation is overbought, so now the trend may reverse. So likewise, I have also final score for 30 minutes, and this comes every 5 minutes. So here you see that 5 minutes there is an individual score, 15 minutes there is an individual score, 30 minutes there is an individual score. And the important logic is, if the 15 minutes candle is fresh candle, then the weightage is different. Likewise, if the 30-minute candle is fresh candle, then the weightage is different. And if these candles are not fresh, because 5 minutes candle, we are going to have it every 5 minutes, but that time we will not have fresh candles of 15 minutes and 30 minutes, then there is a weightage is different. So this is very important engine, and this is very effective in telling me the direction, whether it's going to go bullish or bearish. Moving on to the next engine, which is institutional C and P engine. Why I call it institutional? Because the calculation is a bit complex. It's like an institutional grade. So what I'm using Nifty 50 spot, the IV momentum, the prices at ATM, the Greeks, delta, gamma, theta, vega, based on Black-Scholes inversion methods, and the Z score. So I get this plot based on all this composite calculation. This is panel 1, and then on the next panel I use a lot of other indicators like FTS, ICS, SMP, the SDP and VPS. So based on that I get this particular panel for the institutional composite score. And then I have this Z score for delta IV, skew momentum, PCR premium, dealer pressure, VOV, which is volatility of volatility, and the skew. So this engine is currently under validation, and when we start building our engine, I think I will give more details about each and every parameter or each and every indicator what I have used here. So the next one is AI to Alpha Global Markets Dashboard. It's not an engine, it's a dashboard of the important indices worldwide. Like in India, Nifty 50, Nifty Bank, Sensex, US, S&P 500, Nasdaq, Dow Jones, Germany, UK, Asian indices like Nikkei 225, Hang Seng, and so on. So I can adjust the auto refresh frequency. So I get this is get updated every 2 minutes. Then we have also commodities, currencies like USD INR, GBP USD, commodities, gold, silver, crude oil, also crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and so on. So why it is important? It's important to have a look at all the indices worldwide to understand what is the global risk mood. So the next engine, very interesting, is a market news intelligence engine or dashboard. So it fetches the news from all over internet. I'm fetching the news using APIs. So it fetches the news all over internet, and then there are certain keywords. So it filters the news with the keywords, okay, and it refreshes every few minutes, And also I have this the slider to address how old the news has to be. Like now I have set it for 2 days, so I don't get news older than 2 days. And I get the headlines, and there is also score. So this is also defined with the help of AI, that based on the news, the content of the news, whether this is going to affect the market positively, negatively, so that I get it here. And then every day, every 5 minutes, I can run this engine. And also there's a link. I click on the link and I open that link. You can see that the link is getting opened, and here you can read the complete article. So this engine is, I have designed it for market, but anyone can use this engine. If you are into automotive, you want to see what your competitors are doing, what is happening with the different platforms, electrical vehicles all over the world, in India. So every day you can run this engine, and you will have very concise summary for you based on your keywords or based on the logic what you are defined. So moving on to the next engine, AI2 Alpha, which is our channel name, and fundamental analysis engine, that's the engine here. So what it does, it analyzes the stock, particular stock, and it's not necessarily that it has to be Indian company. It analyzes worldwide, any stocks worldwide it can analyze. So then how it analyzes? So there are certain checkpoints. So like quality, growth, balance sheet, valuation versus growth, and momentum. So these are the checkpoints which are predefined. So this one can define according to the way you want it to be defined. So once it is defined, then you can analyze any stock with those checkpoints. So with the valuation, what is the PE valuation? So you can see the value here, price to book ratio, price to sales ratio. On quality, there are certain ratios, the net margin, operating margin, and also you see the verdict, whether the quality of this particular stock is good or bad. The growth and profitability from 2022 onwards, you can see what is the revenue and what's the profit here. Cash flow, risk and stability, you can see those values, and also the price structure. What was the 52-week high, 52-week low, percentage above 52-week low, which was 42%. That means, yeah, there's a risk, and that's why the valuation is, overall verdict is avoid for now. Weak setup, score 43 out of 100. So moving on to the next engine, AI2 Alpha Super Engine. Why I call it super? Because it includes a lot of parameters, mostly everything what should be considered. So this panel gives me the fusion score. So if it is above 0.3, that means it's going to be bull. It's below 0.3, that means it's going to be bear. And the same line, which is at the moment yellow, because it's a neutral, market is neutral, will turn into either green or red. This panel gives me these three engine score: candle micro, micro, and volume micro. So this is based on the weak pressure, the body structure, the rejection strength, and so on. So each candle is getting evaluated in this engine. This engine is alignment engine. Here I have used indicators to calculate the structure and the trend. This panel gives me the confidence. So this panel is a confidence engine because of liquidity, volatility, derivatives, flow, market position. So at the end, for every single minute, I get fusion score, probability, direction, whether it's neutral, whether I have to buy P, buy C, regime, whether it's bullish, bearish, or it's a range bound, or it's a neutral, and then the reversal risk. And for every single minute, I get the individual engine score at the bottom. So this engine is under validation at the moment, but I believe this will be very good, effective engine, and that's why I call it as a super engine. So moving on to the next engine, this is Premium Live. I use it for Nifty futures and options. So this engine fetches the ATM. It's a dynamic ATM. It adjusts ATM by itself, and it also fetches what is the premium for calls and put. So at the moment, today was expiry day, so the market is closed, but still I have data from today. So here it shows, the blue line shows the premium for calls, the orange line shows the premium for puts. And when this panel shows what is the delta OE, the open interest delta between PE, the put and call, and this panel shows the correlation. When I see that the call premium is high, but here the delta OE of put is high, that means the correlation is negative and the trap is getting formed. So this engine is quite helpful to see whether the trap is getting formed or the trend makes sense. The correlation is positive. So this engine is a pre-market verdict. This I call it pre-market because you have to run it before the start of the market, and it has the same logic of live verdict engine. Just the difference is at one time it can run on different time frames. So you will have verdict for 1 day time frame, half a day, 2 hours, 1 hour, 30 minutes and 15 minutes. So before you start trading, so you know how the trend is going to be. So on 4 hours, 2 hours, how the trend is. So if you are doing intraday, so you know, important to know that on 30 minutes and 15 minutes the trend is bearish trend and you should avoid buying CE. So it's going to be very useful before the start of the day because it tells you the mood of the market. And the last engine in today's episode is the crypto engine. It's the last for today's episode but not the least. So this is under development. I'm still working on this, but this is working on the live data. It fetches the crypto data, especially I'm doing on the Bitcoin, and then I can apply the same logic. So already that is working on, and this will give me the same verdict like what I'm getting for the Nifty 50. So this is under development, and maybe in the coming episode I will show you the completed engine, the crypto engine. So this channel isn't about just the coding or just the trading. It's about the clarity. It's for everyone who want to do something more. It's for engineers, for doctors, for teachers, for non-IT professionals, for housewives who want to build new skills, for the traders who are tired of confusion, and for the beginners who don't know where to start. So if you can think logically, you can build powerful tools. So in the next episode, we'll start building your first trading engine, the simple indicator engine. It will be very simple, fun and eye-opening. So I have built all of this with curiosity, logic and AI. If I could do this, I could build all these trading engines without the coding background. Absolutely you can. So please subscribe to our channel, comment and follow us AI to Alpha, and welcome to AI to Alpha.